Welcome to Labyrinth2, Part 3.
One more example of that, kind of a handshake here. And with the changes that are present or potentially present with something like the Five of Wands, fiery, lots of contained energy that wants to get out or get into a new arrangement because that's the only way change is going to happen. The stability of the Four of Swords, in this case, instead of air and fire creating more flames, air in this case can breathe some just fresh air into the situation. And instead of it being escalating, what we have is someone saying something like, well, why don't we put this on the shelf for a moment and go like sit on the couch and cut ourselves some slack for a minute? And that can do it. Just that break in the action sometimes, right? And so what I'm trying to make obvious is how these energies are working together towards this archetypal shower of benevolent energy into an arrangement that becomes something greater than it could have been without the partnership. And being the nice part, I believe something just came to me, was that one thing that will be experienced by many in the current situation is that we will be able to, in real time, watch the evolution of each other through this combined energy. But ultimately, since we're all going to remain our individual selves, we can be able to observe the transformation in each other and in ourselves that normally isn't available when someone's at home and someone's in the office, right? Let's go to the last line. So the last line is an overall line. This is the kind of the trickle down into compact form again, so that the four cards here relate to everything up here, but with some placement now, so that there's ways to focus your mind on certain parts of the overall message that help to crunch things when they need to be crunched. The bookends here are the Ace of Wands and the Strength card. This is your situation that potentially, boom, we're being offered a new opportunity. And what a great one to have, right? I mean, because the sparkling energy that comes out of this is the energy of life itself. And it's full of inspiration and integration. And that's the situation. Bookmarked at the other end by ultimately, what can we do about everything? Or where are we going with the actions that we're taking? And what we see is strength. More of that laid back but powerful input that has such a huge place in the world anyway, but is brought to light and to bear, particularly now. And for me, this is always indicative of a certain level of personal evolution, spiritual evolution. And the spirit of the whole operation is what's being reflected here. That a soul that is at the position of strength has certainly understood the connection with the divine, but now, for maybe the first time in the process that started with the fool and the magician, now we get to the point where someone has grounded themselves simultaneously with being attached to the divine. And what comes out? Boom, strength. Well, what's our challenge, however? Could be worse, could be better. It is the Nine of Cups. I personally think the Nine of Cups is a great card that's hard to find a place within it where it's ever really all bad, even if it's a challenge like in the position it's in now. And I think more with this particular card. Let me put it this way. This individual has the tiger by the tail, in a sense. But here's the reminder that the challenge is representing. This individual has to take each of these cups, has to understand what's inside, and make choices about what you're going to do with all that energy. The fact that it's a 9 means to me that there's a lot of potential for flowing emotions in this present scenario. So let them flow, but be aware of that. It would be foolhardy to get too daydreamy or not grounded about the endeavors that you're confronted with and going to take. I mean, obviously, for me, with all these swords, there's a lot that has to be thought about, and perhaps some of it has to do with what I started with about when I took my Labyrinth walk, which is that how we go in when we're saying mantras like, what am I in the game for? It's a bold step into confronting the situation, saying, I'm not going to be just, blown about by the winds of change. I have intentions. I'm the master of my personal sailing craft here, being my body, soul, and mind. And therefore, I have things that I want to accomplish. Now, the final card I'm going to talk about is the Queen of Cups, and she is in the strength position, or called perhaps the asset, and means who's got your back. Well, the Queen of Cups, when she's looking over here at this challenge position, and she knows what's in her cup, and she is determined to hold that sacred, not to allow love and emotions to, especially the positive emotions, to be brought down to a level that does not befit the queen. She's carrying it and she's going to maintain it. And she has the ability to do that. So it's a good strength as you walk into this. And like I was saying, if you're interested in what you can do about it, look for the energy that's this. Both of you. I think that's probably a good recap too. It's got blessings from the sun, the moon that are showering down, but it's going to take work, effort, heads up behavior to utilize this energy coming from the archetypes. And then, I mean, the steps that need to be taken are pretty simple. It's not like it's solving calculus problems or something. It's knowing what you've got and holding to it. I wish you well. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you next time.